Hello and welcome to another episode of It Came From the Page. And yes, you read that right. I'm participating in the Christmas Evil reading event. I am very, very, very excited for this. This is an event that was created by Kelly Hooked Books, and it includes herself, Kelsey from Slime and Slashers, Michelle's Melancholia, Fiber Artsy, and of course Katrina Brown, who I somehow missed last time, and I'm sorry when I talked about this before. But I am incredibly excited for this reading event. I literally bought merch for this reading event. That is how pumped I am. I found out weirdly that I am actually way more excited about this than I was for October, even though I straight up do not like Christmas. I don't like Christmas as a holiday, but I love it as a backdrop to murderous events. I have, of course, my Santa hat on. I also have my ugly Godzilla Christmas sweater on. So that's cool. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm very excited for this event. And let's just go through my TBR and hit all of these wonderful prompts. So as you can see, here's the bingo board that has all the prompts on it. And let's go through them one at a time. So first up is Black Xmas. Black magic or occult. So for this one, I am choosing Demon Shadows. I had this on my books that I wanted to read during winter. I have actually not put many of those books actually on this TBR, but just because I wanted to create something very special for this event. But regardless, I did have to use this one because I actually didn't have any other winter set occult books around. And also this book just looks awesome. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for that one. Next up is Krampus, a creature feature or monster book. I actually, this month, have read two books that would have been perfect for this, which would be Carnivore by Lee Clark, and then I've also am currently in the middle of reading a book called Claws by Kate Barry. Both of those are winter set creature features, and I'm enjoying both of them a lot. I enjoyed Carnivore, and I'm just getting through Claws right now, but I really do like it. But I picked for this month is a book that I just recently got in the mail, like literally yesterday, and that is The Mountain King. And I've never actually read a book by this author, but I saw that recently Joshua from Coffee, Cats, and King read this book, and I think he had like a pretty decent review of it. It was basically like, oh, this is a solid like 3-star fun read. If you're into this genre, this is basically a Yeti book set in the snow. I'm super excited for this. Joshua has never been wrong about a monster book. Always, like, anytime Coffee Cats and Kings recommend anything, like, you know it's going to be good. So yeah, I am super duper excited for The Mountain King, even if my copy's a bit beat up. Next up, A Christmas Carol, which is a haunting or ghost story. For this, this was pretty much a no-brainer. This is Ghost Stories of Christmas by Joanne Christensen. I have read a few other books in this Lone Pine series. I always enjoy reading them. They're always very fun ghost stories. And I'm very excited to read this specific one because it's all about Christmas horror. So heck yes. Next up is a gifted book. I have a bunch of giant books that were gifted, so I had to kind of go through and try to figure out what is like the most reasonably sized book that I've been gifted that I could put into this prompt. And for that one, this is a book gifted to me by my friend Alex Pattison, and that is the very first Resident Evil novelization book. So this is a book that is recapping the very first Resident Evil game, written by S.D. Perry, and I have been meaning to read these books for a long time. I just never kind of cracked into one. So what better way to start than with a gifted book prompt and to kind of grab and get into this. Very much looking forward to that one. Next up is a mood read. I actually have 3 in here. Of course, mood reads can be anything, but what's kind of nice is these are 3 books that I just need to read. Need to read this Christmas. So last Christmas, I found out these books existed, and I ordered them, and they didn't arrive in time, so I'm going to crack into them this year, and that is The 12 Crimes of Christmas and the 12 Frights of Christmas. These are both anthology books, and I am super duper excited for those. And also, last, but certainly not least, this is Dead of Winter by Keelan Patrick Burke. And I have heard some good things about this book. Super short, super quick read. So I just thought I would throw that into my mood read pile. Next up, Sleigh Bells, which is a slasher book. This is one I don't actually own physically, but luckily this is available digitally, and that is the namesake for this particular prompt, which is Sleigh Bells, and I will put a link in the description in order to find it, because it's not technically, you have to look it up, you have to do a little bit of research, because it's not under Sleigh Bells, it's in a compilation of the author's other works, so it was a bit difficult to kind of track it down and figure out where exactly it was online, so I'll put a link in there. I have never actually heard anyone read this book or even talk about this book, so I don't know what to expect. It probably isn't even a slasher. I mean, it's written in the 80s. 80s books normally aren't slashers. I did read last year Black Christmas by Thomas Altman, and I really dug that book. That was a really, really fun book. So hopefully Sleigh Bells is in the same vein as that one. Next up, Winter Wonderland, a book set in the winter. I have chosen Christopher Golden's Road of Bones. I picked this up from my local library and thought, oh, this is like a great winter set horror book to read. So very excited to read that. Last year I read Christopher Golden's Snowblind, and it wasn't like the best book I ever read, but it was like a really solid, fun, wintry read. So I'm kind of expecting a similar thing from this. This actually came out this year, I believe. Let me double check. So this came out early this year. So I'm finally getting to that now, and I'm very excited for that one. So that's Road of Bones. Next up, Santa's Little Helper, which is a middle grade book. This is a bit harder for me. I'm not really a fan of middle grades, but I did realize that I do own Fear Street Super Chiller, Silent Night 2. So I haven't read Silent Night 1. I don't plan on reading Silent Night 1, but I did at one point find Silent Night 2, and yeah, that seems like a great winter horror middle grade slashy book. So excited for that. This will actually be my very first Fear Street book overall. And last, but certainly not least, is Reindeer Ride, which is to read a translated book or a non-US author. This is The Girl Who Died. You will see the name of the author at the bottom of this video because I do not want to butcher the pronunciation. But this is actually a Icelandic book. And I am really, really looking forward to getting into some horror from Iceland. So that is going to be very exciting. Some people say it's more of a thriller. I've seen it's got little ghost stories elements. Regardless, it's good for this prompt, and it seems like a fun read. So that's another book I got from the library. So yeah, those are my picks for the Christmas Evil Read-A-Thon. I also have a bunch of Christmas horror movies set out that I'm going to try to watch, and I will talk about those, but I'm only going to do 2 videos on that next month, so you won't be overloaded with that content. Most of you don't enjoy, but some of you do. So I would love to hear if you guys are participating in this read-a-thon, what you guys are reading, and yeah, I am just super jazzed to read some winter set horror books. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Goodbye!